think I would start by saying how sad it is that you don't know this wonderful story, a tragic story, but it's very wonderful. I would say that this was a man who was truly good and truly following the call that God had asked of him.
The model of Hussain, the model of social justice, the model of advocacy is something that we can find in all faiths, but there's a wonderful illustration in Islam.
Hussain is never usually one of the major figures in these dialogues. Often you might have discussions, for instance, of Jesus or of the prophethood of Muhammad. Hussain doesn't figure very often.
He was somebody who I think waited quite a number of years before he would even take up leadership, and I think that's something I see in Hussein's life, that he obviously had a sense of duty.
Outside of the Islamic traditions, there's very little known about him. And here is a model of a spiritual leader, of a religious leader, of a political leader, who actually, I think, could speak much more broadly to the world. It would be nice to include Hussain in the sort of pantheon of religious greats that often people talk about. Moses, Jesus, Buddha, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, these names that people regularly know.
You're dealing with a really tragic event that took place in real history, you know, a handful of people, and outnumbered by a vast army, and deprived of water, women and children. So it's a tragic, terrible story.
It seems to me that Hussain is a figure that one can identify with because he lived in such a key period in the formation of Islam, the early period of Islam. And what strikes me most of all is the emphasis, if you like, on what we'd call today social justice, this sort of sacrifice, they're trying to better society, and that's what we need.
He was killed because he was fighting for justice. He was fighting against the injustice of the world. And I think you see that again and again in our world today.
Because the story that's there about fighting against injustice, of a small group who stands up against